The Somers Tuskers come into this matchup off a tough loss, losing 47-39 to Lakeland, sitting at 3-14 on the season, while John Jay Wolves come into this matchup at 14-5, coming off a win versus Midwood, 65-58. These two teams took on each other a couple of weeks ago, where John Jay won 65-43. And welcome back. We have the Somers Tuskers taking up the John Jay Wolf. As I was saying before, Tuskers come into this matchup off a rough loss to Lakeland, losing 47-39, sitting at 3-14 in the season. They need to win 2 more games to make the playoffs, with 3 games remaining in the regular season, including this one, while the John Jay Wolves come into this matchup sitting at 10-7, coming off a win versus Midwood, and these two teams took on each other a couple weeks ago, where John Jay won 65-43 on January 24th, 2025, as the Tuskers are taking on the John Jay Wolves. And this should be an exciting one. As we're ready for tip-off, it's going to go up. Spano for the Tuskers. Gets it for the Tuskers, but it's going to be taken by number 1 of John Jay. Number 1 of John Jay with the ball.
Number 14, Corelli in possession now. He passes it over to number 5, over to Bishop. Bishop over around to Pavetta, in to 5 for a shot. Raquel, no good.
And there goes Philip Santor to O'Brien. O'Brien back to Santor, back to Quinones. Quinones going. Back to O'Brien. O'Brien with the ball. Up for the basket, hits the backboard, but then Chris Decker does a final, puts it in, and gets the 2 for the Tuskers.
Number 5, Raquel with the ball now, over to Bishop, over to Safetta on the side, back over to number 2, Valdez. Valdez looking for options, trying to get past Santor. He passes in to number 5, Raquel, who goes up for the shot. He is fouled. And now, we have a second. Let's go over the key plays for Somers in this matchup. Number 11, Phil Santor, Chris Spano, 23, Chris Decker, 13, and Nico Quinones, number 3. Raquel was fouled. He has 2 free throws. First one is up and good. Second free throw is good.
And Wickle gets it for John Jay, the free throws, but now it's Stecco with the ball to O'Brien. O'Brien moving down the court. There goes O'Brien. O'Brien with the ball. There goes O'Brien. Passes it to Decker. Decker to Santor. Santor now. And tries to throw it. It's John Jay's ball.
Corelli charging up the court now with the ball. He passes over to number 2, over to number 5, Raquel. Raquel trying to work into the paint. Up for a shot, up for a layup. The layup is good. No foul.
So now with the ball, O'Brien. O'Brien to Santor. Santor with the ball, goes up for the 3. Hits the rim, does not go in. Recovered by John Jay.
All right, John Jay with the ball. Now that's number 2, Valdez with the ball. Over to Civetta, back to Valdez. Valdez at the top, guarded by Quinones. He passes back over to Civetta. Over to number 14, Corelli. Corelli over to Bishop. Bishop up for a shot. 2 points, good.
So now O'Brien throws it back out for the Tuskers. Finds Quinones, who throws back to O'Brien. Now Philip Santora with the ball, gets the ball down the court. Santora finds O'Brien. O'Brien back to Quinones, who gets it up for the 3. Hits the backboard, no good.
Corelli to take the ball up the court over to Valdez. Valdez over to Civetta. He's at the top trying to get around Quinones. He does, but he runs into Decker. Passes it out to Valdez at the top. Valdez up for 3. Valdez 3 is good.
And a 3 for John Jay. And John Jay already up by 7 early in this matchup. John Jay looking pretty good at the start of this one. But I got Philip Santor with the ball. Crosses half court. Now with the ball, Philip Santor. Is he going for the basket? Decides to throw to O'Brien, who goes for the 3, and it goes in! A 3 for the Tuskers.
Tuskers closing that gap, trying not to get behind. Corelli to take the ball up the court. He finds Bishop at the top. Bishop hands it back to Corelli. He finds Bishop again, driving to the basket. Up for a layup. Layup is good. 2 points. Another 2 points for John Jay. They're up 11-5.
And now we got Philip Santora with the ball to O'Brien. O'Brien finds Quinones. Quinones with the ball. Going for the basket. Looks like foul call there. Let's see what they're going to call here. So now Santora with the ball. Going up for the basket, and it goes in for the Tuskers.
Tuskers trying to keep that gap close, 11-7 now with 4 minutes left. Corelli with the ball. He passes over to, that's Raquel. Raquel finds Bishop. He finds Civetta. Civetta looking for options. He finds Corelli behind him. Corelli back over to Valdez. Valdez charging in. He finds Bishop driving to the basket. The ball is loose and is jumped on by Spano.
Taken by Chris Decker going down the court. Chris Decker, a player who, at least for the games we called, was out, and then last game played very little, but he is back in the starting lineup tonight as Chris Spano tries to get the basket. It's no good, but we're covered by Somers. Whistle eventually called. We'll see what they're going to call here. It looks like it's going to be John Jay's ball.
John Jay ball in their own corner. Civetta inbounds to Corelli. Corelli across court.
Late violation.
Corelli into Bishop. Bishop just beat Decker straight to the basket. He gets an easy layup.
And there goes O'Brien down the court. O'Brien. Back to Santor. Santor now with the ball. Santor finds Spano. Best friends in real life, but it's gonna be no good for Spano. But now Spano, it's gonna be called for a free throw. So Spano on, gonna be shooting the 2 free throws now. First free throw is up, hits the rim, no good.
That foul was an illegal use of the hand.
And now for those of you watching on YouTube, take a little look at our starting lineup. We have Quinones, O'Brien, Decker, Spano, and Santor. Those are your Tuskers starters for today. 13-8 is your score.
13-8 as the clock ticks down, 3 minutes remaining. Number 2 finds number 13, Raquel. who is in the game now with his brother, number 5. He finds the ball. He goes up for a shot for 2. 2 is good.
So now Philip Santor with the ball. Looks like he went out of bounds. Number 2 may have pushed him, so we'll see what they call here. Oh.
Number 2 has 2 fouls already, I believe. He was the one that caught the illegal use of the hands. That's Valdez.
So Santor throws it back in, finds Quinones. Quinones just to Decker. Decker to O'Brien. O'Brien with the ball. O'Brien going up for the basket. It's the back of the rim. Does not go in.
John Jay charging up the court. Number 5, Raquel finds the ball. He passes back to the top to Valdez, who finds Cooper. Number 11, he finds Valdez at the top again. He goes up for the shot off the rim. Grabbed by number 11, Cooper. He finds the way back to Valdez. Valdez getting a lot of time with the ball. He passes into Cooper. He's guarded. Bishop finds the ball in the corner. Back to the top to Valdez. Valdez over to Cooper. Cooper driving in, looking for the layup. No. And it's going to be Somers' ball on an up and down, I believe. Somers' ball.
So it's going to be Somers' ball. Santor is going to be throwing it back in for the Tuskers to O'Brien. O'Brien with the ball, guarded by number 13. And Quinones dribbling down the court. There goes Quinones. Quinones to Spano. Spano back to Santor. Santor with the ball, up for the 3, which goes in for the Tuskers. Another 3 for Philip Santor.
What a 3. Philip starting to get hot. Valdez dribbling around now. He's not sure what to do. He's just going to go right up for the 3. 3 off the rim, no good. Ends up in the hands of Santor.
Now Santor with the ball going down the court. Santor playing pretty good. Coming off a 3. It looks like when Spano got the ball, it was out of bounds or something called here. We'll wait to see what that is. Some players swapping out. It looks like we have Leo Kaimeg in for the Tuskers, and also Timmy Monahan in for the Tuskers.
Pirelli comes in for John Jay as well.
So now back to Spano for the Tuskers. Monahan now with the ball, who goes up for the 3, hits the backboard, no good, taken by number 20.
Bishop charging up the court. He's a big senior. He passes out to 11 Cooper. He finds his way to Corelli, who just came in, who drives in for a layup. And seems to be some confusion. Is that going to be Somers' ball? The refs will come together to discuss now.
And while we wait, who are the star players on John Jay? So we got Colin Bishop, a sophomore, and one of the stars of the team, a player to look out for. And also we have Will Wickle. So 2 players, Wickle, yep. Will Wickle to look out for, but it's going to be coming up for the free throws.
He's going to have 2.
For the Tuskers, shooting 2. First free throw is up, and it goes in for the Tuskers.
Baez is in for John Jay, and as Bishop subs out for number 22, Mark Bean.
Now Kaimeg up for the second 3, and second free throw, and it goes in.
Corelli to bring the ball up the court now. Corelli, he finds number 15, Baez, who just came in. Baez dribbling around. He finds Cooper. Hands it off to number 13, Raquel. Raquel up for the 3. 3 is no good. Rebound grabbed by Baez. Pass back out to Cooper. Cooper went up for the 3, is no good. And it looks like it's going to be a foul. I believe, foul on Somers, and it's going to be an inbound play. Corelli to inbound for John Jay. He finds Raquel. Raquel finds Corelli again in the corner. Back to Raquel. Back to Corelli, passing back and forth now. Not using the other players. Corelli goes up for a shot that's no good.
Santor passes to Kaimeg, who goes up for the basket. Rolls off the rim, no good, but recovered by O'Brien. Tuskers are cheering as it looks like they're going to be throwing it back in. Yes, O'Brien actually on for the free throws after the foul. O'Brien shooting the free throws for the Tuskers. And we got a 2-point game. John Jay only up by 2 after John Jay was up pretty big, 9-2 to start off this game. So O'Brien's first free throws up. It's no good.
(11 and 13). Cooper and Raquel subbing out now for John Jay as O'Brien heads up for his second free throw. And it's no good. It's going to be a rebound recovered by John Jay, and Valdez, who just came back in, is going to bring the ball up the court. He's guarded by O'Brien. He gets a failed screen from Bishop, but Bishop charges in after that, loses his man, and gets an easy layup with 3, 2, 1. Last second, Phillips tries a shot. Phillips Santora, it's no good.
And folks, that will end the first quarter. 17-13 is your score, and as we roll towards the end of the season, a big storyline coming into this one is it's the final 3 games of the season, and the Tuskers must win 2 out of the last 3 games to get in the playoffs. If not, this could very well be the last game we're calling. Possibly going to do Monday. I'll definitely be here on Local Live doing Monday. We don't know about YouTube left yet, but tune in Monday. It's going to be Hen Hut for Somers Monday on Local Live.
And now quickly, while we have a second, let's also look at Somers. What is their key to success in this game? So they're gonna not want to allow a fast start from John Jay, and along with containing John Jay's tough physical guards and just playing hard basketball on both ends, defense and offense, as we return for the second period. And Somers is going to start with the ball for the second period.
So Kaimeg is going to throw it back in, finds Santor. There goes Philip Santor. Finds Monahan. Back to Santor. Santor with the ball now. Goes up for the basket, hits the rim, and bounces in.
Corelli with the ball. He hands it off to number 2, Valdez, who passes across to Civetta. Civetta, he finds Baez. Baez around. He finds Valdez. Valdez trying to get past Julian Rosa. He does get enough in to get 2 points.
So now with the ball, Santor. Here goes Santor. Santor finds Kaimeg. Kaimeg back to Santor. Santor with the ball. Gonna go up for the basket. Hits the backboard. It will be John Jay's ball. But they'll let it roll out of bounds and they will cover.
Yes, they did step out of, or was it timeout? Timeout called by John Jay early in the second period. And we have a second here.
All right, so what plays may Somers scheme up to get the ball down the field in this matchup? So back screens. Back screens, a basketball maneuver involving 2 players, called a cutter and screener. The screener remains second stationary on the court while the cutter moves towards the basket and attempts to use the screener to separate himself from the defender. That's how a back screen works, a play they may use. Also a ball screen, Coach James said. Another play they may use, an offensive play where a player positions themselves near a defender guarding the ball handle. This blocks the defender's path and create space for the player to get to the basket. And they also may create open gaps, which helps the Tuskers get the ball down the court.
So Valdez finds his way in for John Jay to get a layup to start to come back from the timeout. And it looks like John Jay's gonna have a steal here. Yes, they do. Not Bishop, sorry. Yes, Bishop finds the ball. He passes off to Corelli, who finds Valdez, guarded by Julian Rosa. He gets a screen from Bishop that is not effective, but is able to go up for a three that is off the backboard.
Santora with the ball now. There goes Santor. Finds Monahan. Monahan back to Kaimeg. Tries to shoot. Foul called. Looks like goal count, so it's going to be free throws. Kaimeg is going to be shooting the free throws. So it's going to be holding, not goal count. The first free throw for Kaimeg is up, and it's good.
Some subs for John Jay here. We have Will Raquel coming into the game, along with his brother, Sam Raquel.
Kaimeg's second basket up, and it goes in.
Keeping it kind of close here, 21-17, as Will Raquel finds the ball over to Bishop, over to Savetta. He finds number 13, Sam Raquel, who's dribble around and passes it back to Savetta, who tries to drive in for a layup. He goes up, but he is blocked and no fouls called.
So number 5 takes it for the Tuskers. We got finds Stecker. Number 5 Rose, Julian Rosa in for the Tuskers. Foul called. It's gonna be. Looks like it's gonna be John Jay's ball.
Yes, inbound play from John Jay. So Somers will head to their side of the court and get ready to play defense. There's 5 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the first half of this game. As Corelli takes the ball up the court, he finds Sam Raquel. Sam Raquel, he finds Savetta. Savetta driving in for a layup. He is able to get that layup in over Decker and Kaimeg.
Santor with the ball now. There goes Santor. Going. Trying to find open man. Decides to keep it. Going for the basket. Passes to Monahan. And Monahan going up. Passes to Decker, who goes up for the basket. Hits the rim. No good.
Yes. So Savetta with the ball on the side near the Somers sideline. Ball finds its way to Corelli, back to Sam Raquel. Sam Raquel finds his brother, Will Raquel, who gets a layup. And it looks like 2 Somers players may have collided, but they're okay.
So now with the ball, we got Kaimeg. Kaimeg going down the court. There goes Kaimeg. Throws it back out to Santor, who goes for the 3. Hits the backboard, no good. But rebounded by the Tuskers. Kaimeg up for the 3, and it goes in! Leo Kaimeg gets it for the Tuskers. Santor does not get it. Kaimeg able to rebound, and what a play as he is able to get the 3.
Another timeout is called.
What?
Huh?
And while we wait, what plays do we expect to see from John Jay? So we've seen plays to we're gonna see plays to get their guards to get to the rim. That's one play we see, and just utilizing sophomore Colin Bishop to get down the court. An amazing player, and just as a sophomore, very impressive. And look at how is John Jay different from Somers. So John Jay has quick guards, tough-minded, and experienced players who have played varsity for a few years now.
And now, John Jay back on offense. Will Raquel finds his way to the ball. He does not get the layup, but the rebound by Bishop is brought in, and John Jay is running full court press here on defense.
Santor finds Kaimeg. Here goes Kaimeg with the ball. Back to Santor. Santor to Quinones. Quinones. It hits the backboard. No good. Goes out of bounds.
Somers ball.
Yes, it'll be Somers' ball. So Quinones is going to throw it back in. Quinones to Decker. Decker with the ball. Foul. Let's see what this is. Looks like we have a holding. So holding, and it looks like it's going to be Chris Decker who's up for the free throws. Chris Decker, also part of the varsity football team for the Tuskers, and a state championship, 2024 state champion. We got some subs. Khalif Martin subs in for Philip Santor.
And 11, Dylan Cooper, a senior, comes in for John Jay, along with number 2, Ryan Valdez. Decker up for his second free throw. It's no good, and it is the rebound by Will Raquel for John Jay. So Cooper around at the top. He finds number 14, Corelli. Corelli looking to drive in, looking for options. Yes, he goes for the layup, and that's in.
Now the ball, Quinones. Here goes Quinones. Finds Spano. Spano to Kaimeg. Kaimeg with the ball. Passes back. Quinones. 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 Quinones goes up for the basket. No good. We got a foul.
Travel.
And it's going to be a travel. So it's going to be John Jay's ball after that.
So John Jay to inbound from under their own basket. Corelli hands it off to Dylan Cooper. Cooper to Valdez. Valdez looking for options. He finds his way back to Corelli. Corelli dancing around to the three-point line. He decides to charge in. He's fouled. He's fouled. He's going to have 2 shots. We'll see what the referees calls. He will head to the line. And he was fouled for illegal use of the hand. First shot is up and it's no good. Quite distracting noise from the Somers student section. Possibly threw him off. Second shot is up. And it's way short. Way short. It's going to be Somers' ball.
So O'Brien is going to throw it back in for the Tuskers. Kaimeg with the ball. There goes Kaimeg. Kaimeg going. Kaimeg to Martin. Martin to Quinones. Quinones going. Tripped off. It looks like it's going to be a travel, so it's going to make it John Jay's ball.
Yes, John Jay ball. Number 14, Corelli, to receive the inbounds here and to bring it up the court. He passes over to Will Cal. Will Cal over to Bishop. He passes into Valdez. Valdez goes in for a layup. Valdez gets that layup.
We got O'Brien with the ball for the Tuskers. O'Brien passes Santor. Santor can't find anyone. Decides to keep it. Now passes it back to Quinones, who goes for the 3. It does not go in. Somers fans and the team stands up, but does not go in for the Tuskers.
Now Will Raquel with the ball here. Hands it off to Corelli. Corelli trying to get past Khalif Martin, but Ben O'Brien grabs the ball as he's going by.
O'Brien getting it, stealing it, getting it down the court, back to Quinones. Quinones with the ball now. She's going for the basket, rolls around the rim, no good.
Yes, John Jay gets the rebound, and Cooper to take it up the court. He's gonna find Valdez charging into the paint, who passes it over to Bishop. Bishop is able to drop it in. And we're gonna have a timeout taken here. Timeout taken by Somers.
All right, and I got a few cool facts about this John Jay's team. So, Steven Silas, you may recognize him, former John Jay player. You may recognize him as the Houston Rockets former head coach. Yes, John Jay has had players that have gone on for success. Used to be a John Jay player, part of John Jay, went on to coach the Houston Rockets for the NBA, which is very impressive. Coached them in 2020, 2021. He is the current assistant coach of the Pistons, so pretty cool. A John Jay team just around the corner from here, having a former player, which was also a former NBA head coach. Very cool fact, and yeah, so teams head back out.
With 1.5 minutes remaining in the second period, John Jay is up 33-20. And Somers is going to have an inbound play under their own basket.
So Khalif Martin's going to throw it back out for the Tuskers. Finds O'Brien, back to Martin. There goes Martin. Martin carrying the ball. Tosses the other side of the court. Goes up for the basket. Foul there. So it's going to be illegal use of hands. That's going to lead to the free throw for Martin. First free throw goes up and in. Second free throw goes up and in for the Tuskers.
All right, John Jay to get the ball back here. So Bishop at the top. He's going to pass the ball off to Valdez. Valdez almost had a screen for Bishop. Yes, he has a screen for Bishop. Gets right around Phil Santor, who finds number 13 in the corner. And 11, Cooper attempted to go for a shot, but Ben O'Brien was able to knock it down and get the rebound. So Ben O'Brien here at the three-point line, trying to work his way in, but he's going to be fouled here, and it looks like it's going to be blocking. And he is going to have an inbound play.
And a few subs for John Jay.
Yes, number 1, Civetta comes back in.
So Santor with the ball. Santor goes up for the three, and it's going to be off. It goes out of bounds. That's going to make it John Jay's ball. It's actually going to be the Tuskers' ball. Do the foul there. So Khalif Martin throws it back in to Santor. Santor going up for the basket. Hits the rim, no good.
So number 2, Valdez charging up court. Over to Bishop. Bishop, and he's going to have an and one. Bishop with the and one. Here, it's going to be for a push. And subs come in for John Jay. So number 22, Fiend, comes in along with number 5, Will Raquel. So Bishop's free throw is up, and it's no good. And that was only one free throw as there's a run, and one.
Martin with the ball. There goes Martin. Moving around. Decides to keep it. Before he shoots, a foul is called, so see what they decide to call here. So it's going to be Tuster's ball. Martin's going to be throwing it back in. And now, it's like some movement, so it's going to be Martin. Yes, Martin's going to be shooting the free throws for the Tuskers. Tuskers currently down by 13. Martin's first free throw is up, and it goes in. And now, few subs for John Jay. Number 14 comes in for number 15 of Kyle Alley. Or Alley. Martin's second free throw goes in.
It was waved off. Was it not? Oh, it was good. Unsure.
So yeah, it's actually not good.
That free throw was waved off, so 35-23. Unsure why that was waved off. But Corelli with the ball, he's gonna hold it until basically the last second. Valdez over to Savetta, who's dribbling around. He's gonna go for a shot. Shot is good as the clock ticks down. Somers does not have enough time to make another shot, nor did that shot go in. So that's gonna bring us into halftime.
So, for those of you watching on YouTube, we're going to be looking at a few highlights of the first half, and we're going to take a look. It is currently John Jay up 37-24, and I'm going to take a look at the first play. So, this one, it is the basket that goes in for the Tuskers. What a great play by him. And now, Kemmings, three, and another amazing play. Kemming gets it in.
And now John Jay. Replay, that looks like number 14. 14's ball was knocked loose. Corelli, his ball was knocked loose, and Somers able to regain possession. And it looks like we have Leo Kaime in the paint here. He's fouled. That was the block, I believe, the illegal block there by John Jay, and he got some free throws for that. So that's all of our replays we have from this first half. So we are going to take a break, and we will be back in just a moment
for a half.
All right, we're back here on Local Live on YouTube. It's with the start of our halftime show. So we're going to start off by just talking a little bit about the first half. So on the John Jay side, we noticed we have some big guys, especially Bishop, number 20. He's a sophomore, and he looks like the one of, if not the biggest player on the court. And I noticed that he was in the middle of everything. He always seemed to be in the paint, cutting in. He was always looking for a layup. He wasn't in any position to ever shoot a three. Also, I noticed that Raquel was getting the ball around. Will Raquel, number 5, he was getting the ball around much. And Ben, you want to talk about some Somers stuff on the Somers side?
Yeah, Somers has been playing pretty good. This is a tough John Jay squad, sitting at 10-7 on the year, plus 7 wins compared to the Tuskers. And also, John Jay is undefeated in our division, in the league, sitting at 4-0. And this is a good team, and this is not really a surprise based on these two teams playing. But yeah, John Jay is massive. Philip Santor, Leo Kaimeng, 2 players for the Tuskers that have played pretty good tonight. Also, Chris Spano and Chris Deckers had some time with the ball as well. Even Khalif Martin coming off the bench, some time with the ball as well. But it's John Jay who's shown up and has played pretty good in this game, as they currently lead 37-24. And it was Somers, however, in the earlier JV game, who was able to take it. Somers able to take the earlier JV game, sorry about that. And so, yeah, Somers has a win today, but overall, Brandon, what are your thoughts on the first half?
I mean, I think this was a pretty good first half of basketball. I know there are many fouls from both teams, but I believe a little bit more from John Jay here, as they're being quite physical, and Somers is trying their best to keep up. They're being physical right back at John Jay. And I think 2 big plays were the 2 steals and around in the Somers defensive zone. Those quick possession changes that did change the momentum of some of these teams. Benny, did you have any thoughts? Any other thoughts on this first half?
Yeah, I think it's just been mostly dominated by John Jay. Somers has put up a good performance, but John Jay, just a very impressive team led by Bishop, the sophomore. Very unbelievable, and this is going to be a tough one to win. If we do lose this one, then we're going to have to win out for the rest of the season to be able to make the playoffs. And if not, Monday night very likely will be our last game calling for you guys for basketball this year. So, yeah, Somers. But luckily, the last 2 games are Hen Hut and Panis. And Panis was a team we were able to destroy a couple games ago. And then our other game, Hen Hut. I don't know how good Hen Hut is, but what I heard from the other day, they're not the best. So we'll see. We'll see if we're able to get it done. But it's going to be tough to win out when we only have 3 wins this year. And Jayden, what are your thoughts on the first half?
I mean, really, is a tough battle here. The scoring's decent here. Somers can definitely step it up. I think there was definitely a lot of fouling, from both teams, really. I think there's definitely some aggression here between the teams, really trying to fight for this win. I know Somers can definitely step it up here and get this win. Currently, the score is 23-37. Got a little bit of ways to go, but I'm sure it's possible.
Yeah, and let's just take a look. So, in the second half, Jayden, what are your predictions for the second half? Sorry about that. So, Jayden, what are your predictions for the second half?
Yeah, I think they can. Somers is definitely going to score some more. I think John Jay might hold a lead for a while, but I think Somers might take over just at the end. I'm thinking maybe Somers gets maybe like. It's a little tough here. I'm assuming scores might be in the 50s. With Somers taking it just by at least 2 points. And, yeah, I mean, they can definitely do it.
Yeah, as a Somers fan, I'm going to say Somers is going to come all the way back and win it on a buzzer beater, 57-55. But realistically, John Jay is just playing too good. I'm going to predict Somers because why not? But I think John Jay, it's going to be a tough team to beat, and I could very well see John Jay taking it tonight. And yeah, Brandon will be here in a second. Brandon, what are your thoughts? What do you think is going to happen in the second half?
Oh, I think it's going to be a competitive second half, definitely. Somers has a habit of going into that locker room during halftime and having a little chat that usually gets them right back into it. So that's all for our halftime show. We will be back in just a moment with start of the second half.
Watch the Somers Sports Broadcast, where we break down the world of sports.
Back, he throws. There's 2 defenders on the tight end.
Interview guests.
We're here with Coach Packard, who will be interviewing today.
Predict upcoming sport games.
To win it 26-23, the Chargers win.
Debate sports.
Who is the best NFL team of all time?
The Cowboys have won 5 Super Bowl titles.
The Patriots, one of the best teams.
Discuss our opinions on the latest in the world of sports.
Alex Bowman. I think he could make it far. He's been impressive.
And much more.
A fumble. This could be game.
I'm with
Nicky Duffy.
Dean Palzall.
I would definitely say DP, Dean Palzolo. He definitely had a great game.
Just a Hail Mary. Will he get it? Bounces off the Bears defenders. Touchdown.
When I first joined last year, you wanted me long distance, but then you threw it.
And I think by now we've really proved that we are the most dominant team in Section 1.
It's going to be a pick. Picked off by Miguel Iglesias, and he's going back.
Watch our weekly talk show episodes of the Somers Sports Broadcast. You could find them on YouTube and Spotify.
And welcome back to Somers High School for the start of the second half between Somers Varsity and John Jay Cross River Varsity. The score is currently 37-23 John Jay. And it's a cold night here at Somers High School. Currently 26 degrees and it feels a lot colder than that with some possible winter warnings. So we're getting ready for the first start of the second quarter. Benny, are you ready? You got any final thoughts before we get started?
Somers really has to start putting up the points here and stopping John Jay on defense to be able to get back in this game. And if Somers is able to do that, I think they can make it a game, maybe possibly a buzzer beater win. But really, Somers defense has to really show up here and stop John Jay from scoring while also being able to get points to score.
Can you do John Jay?
Yeah.
All right, so Somers to start us off here. Quinones with the ball, passes it into Ben O'Brien. Ben O'Brien guarded by Will Raquel. He works his way into the paint, trying to find options. He does not have his dribble. He goes up for a shot that is no good. And Decker gets the rebound, is able to put it in for a layup.
So now with the ball, we got number 1 of Civetta. Civetta finds number 14 to number 2, back to Civetta. Civetta to number 20, who gets it up for the basket. It's no good. Number 20 of Bishop, the sophomore, does not get it in. That's going to make it O'Brien and the Tuskers ball.
Yeah, Santor bring the ball up the court. He's guarded by Corelli, number 14. He's right next to the Somers bench. He passes into Chris Spano. Chris Spano looking for a shot. Shot is up and good. 37-27. Somers close to the gap to 10 points.
Somers is doing exactly what they need to do. So far, not allowing John Jay to score as they're currently up 4-0 in this quarter as Somers defense shows up again.
Chris Decker gets the rebound. He gets the ball across the court quick, and Spano misses a layup.
Now with the ball, we got Civetti. And going up the basket, number 14, no good. Somers gets it back.
Somers regains control of the ball, and they're going to calm it down a little bit here. Decker gets the ball at the top. He passes over to Quinones. Quinones finds Spano. Spano up for 2 points, and he's good.
Now with the ball, it's John Jay. Number 2 of Valdez with the ball. To number 5, back to number 2 of Valdez. Number 1 of Civetta, back to 2, Valdez. 5 up for the 3, and that's going to go in for John Jay. Will Wickle gets it in. Stolen back by John Jay. Wickle throws it back now. Number 2 of John Jay with the ball of Valdez. Valdez goes to number 20, who's going to get it in for John Jay. Bishop gets it in for John Jay, and I believe we got a timeout.
Yes, timeout called by Somers, their first of the second half, as John Jay takes a 42-29 lead. And we're going to look at what are the keys to success in this game. Just going over those again. Not allowing fast starts from John Jay. Containing John Jay's physicality and being physical themselves. As Somers returns from their timeout, they are going to have an inbound play under the John Jay basket. So it looks like someone drove a play during the timeout. So O'Brien gets the rebound. And he passes over to Quinones. Quinones to bring the ball up the court. Back to Santor. Santor over to Spano at top. He finds Ben O'Brien. Ben O'Brien up for 3. No good for 3, but it is knocked out of bounds by number 5, Will Raquel. So it will be Somers' ball under the John Jay basket. Quinones to inbound. Quinones looking. He finds Ben O'Brien. Ben O'Brien guarded by number 1, Civetta. He's looking for option. He finds Quinones at the top. Quinones driving in from the left side. Up for a layup, and he's good.
Now with the ball, number 14 to number 2 of Valdez. Valdez with the ball. To number 1 of Civetta. To number 20. Goes to the basket. It's no good. Number 20 of Colin Bishop.
And Santor on the left side here for Somers. He works his way in for a layup. And looks like it could have been a foul there, but no. They hit ball. And number 2, Valdez in. He gets in for John Jay to get a quick layup. Ben O'Brien inbounds to Quinones, who's being pressed by 2 players. And ball is knocked out of bounds. It looks like it was knocked out of bounds by John Jay. So Ben O'Brien inbounds to Quinones again. He's working his way up the court. Across to Ben O'Brien, who was not guarded. He was an open man. Back to Quinones. And stolen by number 5, Will Raquel.
Raquel goes for the basket.
A missed layup.
Back by Decker.
Missed layup, and Quinones finds the ball. Spano out to Ben O'Brien. Oh, for the 3. 3 is no good. And rebound is knocked out of bounds by John Jay.
So Quinones is going to throw it back in for the Tuskers.
He's looking. He finds Phil Santor. Santor in the corner looking for options. He loses the ball, but he's able to regain control. He finds Ben O'Brien, who gets a small screen from Spano. Over to Quinones in the corner, who charges into under the basket. Goes for a reverse layup. That's no good. Rebound by Chris Decker. Chris Decker gets a layup in for 2. 44-33.
Now the ball. Number 1 to 2. Valdez. Now with the ball. We have Lickle. Looks like
And it's going to be John Jay ball at half court.
So we got number 14 for John Jay of Corelli. Now to number 2. Back to number 5, Wickle. Back to number 2. Number 2 goes up for the basket of Valdez, and it goes in for John Jay.
Somers rushing up the court. They need to work fast to close up this John Jay lead of 46-33. Now Quinones over to Santor right in front of the Somers bench. Over to Ben O'Brien at the top. He finds Phil Santor coming around. He goes up for a layup. It's not good, but Decker finds the ball and it gets stolen from him.
Number 20 goes up to the basket, stolen back by the Tuskers. That was...
And then Philip Santor trying to work in for a layup, but he is fouled. And Philip Santor is heading to the line here. He was fouled. He gets 2 shots. The first shot is up and no good for Phil Santor.
And now number 22 subbing in for John Jay, number 22 of Theme.
And Phil Santor to go out for a second free throw. Second free throw is good. To John Jay ball.
Just throwing it out, back out there, number 1 of Savetta. Savetta finds number 14. Number 14 of Corelli. Now the ball, number 5. Back to 2 of Valdez. Valdez, that's gonna be stolen by Chris Spano to Philip Santor.
Santor passes into Spano. Spano in for a layup. Over Brendan Corell.
Now the ball, number 14. Corelli.
It's on the tennis courts? Oh, they said it was at... I thought it was at like the...
Going up for the basket is gonna be no good, taken back by the Tuskers.
Quinones with the ball, and it looks like it's stolen by Will Raquel.
And it goes in. Number 2 of Valdez gets it in for the Wolves. And we got a timeout, so.
Timeout called by John Jay.
Yeah, timeout called by John Jay. And just want to go, so I was going earlier, Steven Salas, the John Jay graduate, went on to be a head coach for the Houston Rockets in 2020 and 2021. John Jay player going on for greatness, coaching a team, very cool, very impressive. He is currently assistant coach of the Pistons, but I also want to talk about Michael Baradino. And he used to coach John Jay basketball. Don't know what level, but I know him personally. And yeah, he is a big Knicks, Mets, and Jets fan.
There's so much about the inbound play. Phil Santor to bring the ball up the court. Passes it off to Spano, hands it off to Leo Kaimeg now in the game. Kaimeg bobbles it, keeps control. He finds Ben O'Brien in the corner. O'Brien gets a screen from Spano. Looking for options, he's closely guarded. Phil Santor is able to find the ball, and he gets a layup.
Now with the ball, we have number 13, goes to number 11. Back to number 13, go to number 20 of Bishop, and gets it in for the basket. It's a 10-point game, 48-38. We have 54 seconds left in the third. So Kai Ming's gonna throw it back out for the Tuskers.
Inbounds to Ben O'Brien. Full court press run by John Jay right here. And Ben O'Brien take it up. Some movement in the paint. And Ben O'Brien is going to charge into the paint. Looking for a layup. Layup is good. Ben O'Brien good with a layup. 38 seconds left in the third quarter. 48-40.
Going down the court now. We got number 11 of John Jay. Finds number 2 of Valdez. Goes out of bounds. I think whistle blown. Looks like we got our athletic director, Mr. Haddam, throwing it back in. Also our club advisor. Thank you. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be able to do any of this. So big thanks to Mr. Haddam out there also helping with the game currently. And yeah, he is the reason why we're here getting to do this today, and he is our advisor, and I just want to thank him for all he has done for this club. So now with the ball, we have Corelli, goes to number 5, Wickle. Back to Corelli. Number 14, looks like they're just letting the clock run down, but it's an 8-point game. Tuskers have made it within an 8-point game. Impressive. Corelli with the ball now. Goes to number 20, Bishop. Bishop tries to go for the basket, hits the rim, no good. With 3 seconds left, the Tuskers, maybe they'll try to get a far shot. Unlikely it'll go in. But regardless, we got an 8-point game, except if the Tuskers do something stupid here. The Tuskers are going to be able... They got it between to an 8-point game.
And Santor comes in. It looks like he is going to be one that they want to take the shot. But no, as time ticks down, Creech Martin is the one to take a shot, and it is way short. So that will bring an end to our third period. It is a 48-40 game. John Jay currently in control.
And we will be right back after a commercial break. Watch the Soma Sports broadcast, where we break down the world of sports.
Back, he throws. There's 2 defenders on the tight end.
Interview guests.
Here with Coach Packard, who will be interviewing today.
Predict upcoming sport games.
To win it 26-23, the Chargers win.
Debate sports.
Who is the best NFL team of all time?
The Cowboys have won 5 Super Bowl titles.
The Patriots one of the best teams.
Discuss our opinions on the latest in the world of sports.
Alex Bowman. I think he could make it far. He's been impressive.
And much more.
A bubble. This could be game.
I'm with
Nikki Duffy. Dean Palzall. I would definitely say DP, Dean Palzolo. He definitely had a great game.
Just a Hail Mary. Will he get it? Bounces off the Bears defenders. Touchdown.
When I first joined last year, you wanted me long distance, but then you threw it.
And I think by now we've really proved that we are the most dominant team in Section 1.
It's going to be a pick. Picked off by Miguel Iglesias, and he's going back.
Watch our weekly talk show episodes of the Soma Sports broadcast. You could find them on YouTube and Spotify. And yeah, there may very well be another ad coming very soon. Advertisement for a fundraiser. Watch our next broadcast. It may be part of that, not sure. But right now we got number 5, Wickle with the ball to Bishop. Back to Valdez. Valdez finds Wickle. Goes up the basket, no good, but recovered by John Jay. Throws it back to number 1. Number 2 of Valdez. Number 14 now of Corelli. 5 with the ball. Finds Corelli. Back to number 2. 2 going up for the basket, and it's going to go in for the Wolves. 10-point game.
Somers hustling now. Creech Martin down the court with the ball. He's looking to get in, but he's almost double covered. Then he dumps it off to Ben O'Brien. Finds his way back to Creech Martin. Right in front of the Somers bench. He passes out to Leo Kaimek almost to the half-court line. Back to Creech Martin. He dribbles around to the top. Finds Phil Santor. He gets around his defender. His shot is no good. Rebound by number 2.
With the ball, it goes up. Bishop gets it in for John Jay. What a play for Colin Bishop.
And John Jay, Ben O'Brien charges in for a layup. Very physical there.
And it's Valdez goes to tries for the Wickle, eventually goes out of bounds. That's gonna be John Jay's ball as Somers is fouled there. So number 1 of Tavetta is gonna be throwing out for John Jay. To number 2 of Valdez. Valdez Scantley going down the court. Now with the ball, 14
going up for the basket, and it goes in. Corelli gets it for John Jay.
In for Somers again, Ben O'Brien. He passes to the top where he finds Grief Martin. He dumps it off to Phil Santor near the corner. Phil Santor trying to work his way into the paint. He works his way into the paint. He finds Timmy Monahan open in the corner, who charged in for a layup, gets his own rebound, and tries to put it back up. But both of those shots are no good. And there's going to be a foul called. Foul called here on Timmy Monahan for pushing. So it's going to be a John Jay inbound.
And we're getting close to the end of this game. It is currently a 12-point lead for John Jay. 5:39 left. Going down the court now. Number 1 of Savetta with the ball. Passes it to Colin Bishop. And the teams are going to call timeouts. And let's pass it off to Brandon.
Yeah, so that was a John Jay timeout there. So we'll just talk quickly about what strategies have the Tuskers used playing John Jay in the past, and if those translate. The Tuskers were down big to John Jay a few weeks ago, and they switched from zone to man, and this helped them get back into the game. But it looks like they're trying to keep their strategies similar, and we're just going to talk about quickly what the Tuskers worked on in practice. They were both teams obviously did not have practice yesterday, Thursday, because of the weather, so that may have thrown some plans off. But Coach James said that he plans to stick with the plans that he had for their last game against John Jay. Obviously, once they started getting rolling, he just implemented those plans today. As we return from our timeout, John Jay takes the court, and it's going to be a John Jay inbound next to the scorekeeper's table.
And looking at these past few matchups for Somers and John Jay, just want to go through them quickly. John Jay beat them a few weeks ago, 65-43, but it was Somers who swept them last year, winning both games. First one was 58-45. And the second one was 69-51 on January 19th, 2024. First game was on January 3rd, 2024. Shout out to Mark, as that's his birthday. Taken by Khalif Martin. Martin going down the court.
I believe so. It'll be an inbound play for Somers. He was elbowed, I believe. So that was a foul. So Martin going to have an inbound, and Somers is going to get a sub in. So Spano in for Monahan. So Martin to inbound to Santor. Santor works his way in for a nice physical layup across into the paint. 54-44.
With the ball now, number 2 passes to number 1 of Savetta. Out the ball is Valdez. Valdez to Savetta, trips it up, stolen by Kaimek. Kaimek throws it to Kharif, able to get it before it goes out of bounds. Stecker now with the ball, goes up for the basket, no good, taken back by John Jay. John Jay now with the ball, number 1 of Savetta, goes up for the basket, no good, but recovered by Bishop's Colin Bishop, and it's no good. So it's gonna be free throws for Colin Bishop. .428 left in the fourth quarter. And as a sophomore, he's just gonna get better as a junior and senior as the Somers student section tries to distract John Jay, but that doesn't work there as they get the point. We got 5-5 to 4-4. The double numbers, both double numbers is the score. Second basket goes up, hits the rim. It does not go in. Tuskers ball, Decker to Kaimeg.
Kaimeg up the court with some little assistance from Martin. Martin dancing around, timing with the ball, trying to get the defenders to move around a little bit. And Decker with the ball, he just charges right in. He goes for a layup that missed, and there's a foul. I believe that was going to be on Decker. We'll see for the call.
So it's going to be a holding.
Yeah, that's going to be a holding on Chris Decker. So John Jay gets an inbound play.
So now John Jay with the ball. Number 14 of Carvelli. To Valdez. Valdez finds Carvelli. Carvelli throws it out to Bishop. Up for the three. It goes in again for John Jay. And it's looking like it's going to be another Somers loss here as John Jay playing pretty good.
And Phil Santor with the ball here. He tries to create space from his defender, but that's no good. So he passes it off to Spano. Spano goes under the basket and passes up to Leo Carmack, who has a three. Three is no good. Overshot, but it's grabbed by Phil Santor. And it's knocked out of bounds by John Jay near the Somers bench. And we're going to stay. No, correction. Knocked out by Somers. So it's going to be John Jay inbound.
So with the ball now, we got Corelli. Corelli with the ball. Corelli going down the court for John Jay. It goes up, hits the rim, no good. Foul called there. We're going to see what they call here. Yes, it's going to be a Corelli free throw for John Jay. And what a day for John Jay. John Jay looks to get their 11th win of the year. Wow, the Tuskers with this loss fall to 3-15. They need to win out to be able to make the playoffs. A tough task for the Tuskers. And if they're able to get this done and maybe even win a playoff game or two, it would be probably one of the most impressive coaching jobs by Coach Dame. Very impressive if he is able to pull that off and get the Tuskers in the playoffs. But it doesn't look like tonight they're going to get the win, as they're going to probably need to win out to get in the playoffs.
Santor up for 3-3 off the rim. He seems to be off his game tonight. Not having many threes. Chris Decker passes over to Ben O'Brien. Gets a screen from Spano that is not. He tries to work his way in. He loses his dribble. And he goes up for a layup. That's off the backboard, no good, but rebound by Decker for a layup. Another 2 points for Somers, 58-46. And that's going to be a timeout called by Coach James of Somers. We'll see what Somers and John Jay can both draw up during this timeout. But we'll be back in just a moment from this timeout.
You want to go now with Mark after the post-game interviews?
I'm not going to interview a player.
No?
I'll do Coach Violante. Or do we want to just wait until... I think in this situation, I think it would be better to wait until coaches are done talking.
Yeah, that's fine.
To talk to Coach Violante.
Alright, Coach Violante said yes to leave.
So grab him quick.
Yeah, or grab Coach James if you can't grab him. You could try to grab him quick. He told me that Monday would be better.
Who's expecting us? Kind of.
Coach James, yeah.
What about Violante?
Violante said he had to leave.
I'll get James then.
Yeah.
We'll talk to him after.
Yeah, except if like began very quick. They throw it out there. John Jay with the ball. Foul. Last player with the ball, number 1 of Savetta. And it looks like we have another timeout. And yeah, I think we've covered pretty much everything. So we'll be back on Monday, definitely on Local Live, maybe on YouTube. If you want to know if we're going to be up on YouTube, you got to follow our Instagram and Twitter and Facebook to see if we're going to be doing it up on YouTube. We're definitely going to be on for Local Live Monday. I'll be here doing the Somers versus Hen Hot game. That should be an exciting game, and very well could be the last game of the season. But we're not done yet for this year. We plan to do baseball and lacrosse, and then next year, the club going on without me, we'll be doing football again. I'm excited for them, especially excited to see them do that week 1 Iona prep versus Tuskers game. The two best teams in New York take on each other week 1. I'm excited to watch that from my college dorm and see how a great job that they do. But yeah, we got baseball and lacrosse still to do for this year, and I'm excited to do that as well. Lacrosse is a sport I don't really know that much, and I'm excited to learn it. And Somers has a lot of good players on lacrosse, a lot of them going to college for lacrosse, and should be a fun sport to learn. So number one of Savetta is going to be throwing it out for John Jay. Back to number 2 of Valdez. Finds number 14 of Corelli. Corelli to number 5 of Wickle. Back to Valdez. Valdez with the ball. Valdez finds Wickle. Back to Valdez. Valdez going. And goes to Bishop. It's going to be no good foul. It's going to be Somers' ball.
Well, yes, Ben O'Brien. The inbound to Phil Santor. Santor charging up the court, hustling, trying to get his team back into the game. He hands it off to Spano at the last second. And Chris Decker bobbles the ball and turns it over, but there's a foul.
Going to be a holding.
Chris Decker with a holding. So it looks like, yeah, number 5 of John Jay, Will Raquel, is going to head to the line.
We got Wickle on for the free throws. The Somers student section stream method is going to work there as the free throw is no good. Now subbing out, we have a few new players in for John Jay. Number 13 of Sam Wickle. The brothers now both in together. We have number 22 in of Fiend. And the second free throw goes in. Looks like Wickle's going to sub out, and in comes number 15 of Bays. So it's going to be O'Brien throwing it back in for Somers. It's a 13-point game. It's looking more and more like a John Jay victory.
Santor working hard still. Chris Decker finds his way to the ball, and an intended pass for Ben O'Brien just goes right past him as he began to go the other direction. And that went right out of bounds.
Now with the ball, number 14 of Corelli. Corelli with the ball. I think he's the only player that's still in from the last rotation. 15 back to 14 of Corelli. Corelli going up. No, does not get it. It's gonna be John Jay's ball, it looks like.
And 1 minute and 20 seconds left in the game, and the Somers student section files out.
Yes, it looks like it's going to be another rough loss for Somers, and not a good sign. Good thing you want to leave early from. There was so much Somers fans that left early in the football season, but that is because we were up by so much. Down by so much is nothing you ever want to be leaving from for your home team. So Santor with the ball. Going up for the basket. Taken back by John Jay. Dribbling down the court now. Got number 11 of Cooper. Cooper finds Bishop. No, Cooper with the ball again. 14. Looks like
holding.
We have
Holding.
Yep, holding. hopefully something that does not decide the Super Bowl this year. So Cooper is up for his free throws. The first one goes in for John Jay.
I see that little comment you made there with the holding in the Super Bowl.
So now O'Brien throws it back. O'Brien with the ball.
O'Brien looks to go up for the three with the pump fake. Pass it over to Phil Santor. Phil Santor up for the three. That's no good. And John Jay gets the rebound.
So now with the ball, number 4 of Portello.
Somers
Cooper.
and John Jay just going to let the time run out.
Cooper has the
this
ball,
game-
and yes, it's gonna run out. John Jay is gonna take it 64-46. John Jay gets win 11 of the year, and to move on to 11-7. The Tuskers are gonna fall to 3-15 in a rough season for them, and it continues to be a tough season for them. And John Jay is gonna take this one. Tuskers losing another one. We gotta win out. Tuskers gotta win out to make the playoffs. We'll be back here on Monday on Local Live and maybe YouTube. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Before we go, Brandon, what are your final thoughts of this game?
Oh, it's just a tough loss at the end there. Somers going into the fourth quarter, they were very well in this game. It was only an 8-point gap. That's very manageable. And that's just a tough loss there. So we're going to sign off. For our local live viewers here, YouTube, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, and I want to thank everyone for watching. Just Somers at the end of this, they weren't able to do what they needed to do in the second half, and John Jay will wind up taking this one. But this is it for tonight. I'm Benny Silk, commentating with Brandon Nappi. Thanks for watching, and have a good night.
And YouTube, we are going to look at some replays for our YouTube viewers. Our first one here is nice shot from Spano. Nice shot, gets 2 points for Somers. And number 11, Dylan Cooper up with a 3 from the corner for John Jay. Another 3 for John Jay here. That is number 14, Pirelli. And our final replay, we have Ben O'Brien charging in the paint. He's going up for a layup. A nice layup there, gets Somers an additional 2 points. That closed the gap to 8 points there as we are going to start signing off here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to check out our YouTube. Thank you again. Have a good night, everybody.